Well, today we're adding another gnome to our family of gnomes. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy she is to make. All right, so here are our pieces cut out and still on the mat. I thought I'd go over them with you so you can see where they're placed on the cutting, on both the PDF and the PNG for your cutting machine. That way you can help you identify what we've got. So we have the 4 back pieces or the body pieces, 3 noses, 6 shoes, which make 2 shoes in total. The hands are the same way. You've got these go together and then these go together. There's a right and a left. Be sure on the hands that you keep the little thumb up. You have 6 braids, which will become 2 braids. Glue them into sets of 3. We'll go over that as we glue also. These are her hat, and this is the hat band. There's 3 of the hat, only 2 of the band. Then the platter for the cookies, there's 2 pieces for that. And there are 3 cookies, and those will be left individual. They will not be glued together. They are just going to be single layers. So I am going to take the pieces that need to be glued and put them out on my tray in groups together, and then I'll come back and we'll start gluing and talking about where to get the pattern, what the rules are, all that good stuff. So I'll be right back. All right, take 2 for this part without the guy's car alarm going off. I've got all my pieces divided out into stacks to show where each one gets glued together, what gets glued with what. So the pattern. This pattern for this Gnomess, as well as all my other video patterns that you've seen me do on the channel, there's always a link in the blog post that goes with the video the project is in. All you have to do is follow the link in the description box of the video. That will take you to the blog post for this video. And once you get there, in the first paragraph, you will find a link for the Google Drive location where the free pattern is located. You'll download a file that you'll need to unzip, and in that file you'll find 3 things. You will find a PNG to use with your cutting machine, as well as a text file that will explain to you what size that PNG needs to be resized to, and other helpful hints if I've got any for you. There is also a PDF. The PDF is if you want to hand cut the project. If you want to hand cut it, that's where you find that pattern. So the pattern is free for you to use as long as you are not selling the pattern. You can make as many of these little gnomes as you want. You can sell the gnomes. You just can't sell my pattern because I go to a lot of work. It takes me quite a bit of time to design each one of these. And if people start giving away or selling my pattern, I'm going to need to stop doing that because that's not fair to me for the time that it takes me to make them. The only compensation I get for that time I spend is when you guys click on the video or click on the blog post. And that's, believe me, not a lot. So please follow the rules and be nice so that everybody can enjoy these and have fun making the projects. I cut mine out of medium weight white cardstock, and that's because, for one thing, I find that acrylic paints, which is what I use to color them with, tends to be a lot more light fast than the colored cardstocks. Also, you can cut it all in one piece and not have to, have several different colors for each project. It makes it much more economical. And the paint kind of helps hide the fact that we are making this out of multiple layers of cardstock instead of something like wood. So I am going to turn the camera off. Oops, I need to put glue there. I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to finish gluing these pieces together, and then I'm going to let them dry completely. And when they're dry completely, I will come back and we will start the painting process. So I'll see you when these are dry. All right, my glue is dried and I have my pieces sorted by what colors they are going to be. So I have my 3 cookies here. Since they are only a single layer, I usually put them on a piece of washi tape because it's less sticky than my masking tape and it's less apt to tear them. The reason we want the glue to be dry is, by the way, is because if these are still damp, when we put them on this masking tape, I find I have a better chance of pulling the back of the paper off, the back layer off, or tear it up a bit if these are on the tape when they're damp. So here we have the hat and the body. Those are both going to be a bright red. I have the nose and the 2 hands. Those will be a flesh color. I have the shoes. They'll be black. The band for the hat will be white. The 2 braids will be a golden yellow. And the plate is going to be a fun metallic green. So I'm going to just do the first couple on camera and then the rest of them I will do off camera. So let's start over here with these. The only real trick to this is make sure you get the edges. By putting them on the tape, that will take care of a lot of the paint that might come down off of the edge and would normally be on your tray. I find if they are all the way on the tape, it usually simplifies cleanup after this is dry. So that's the first braid. Now you can do some, shadowing and stuff on yours if you want to. I haven't been on the video simply because it would make the video a lot longer. I'll probably add some shadowing on the hat. I haven't decided. It depends on how long this video is taking. Now set that brush off to the side. I may or may not need to put a second coat on. I'm not sure. I'll put on second coats if I feel I need to. The platter, I'm using the green metallic. It's from Ceramcoat that I got at Dollar Tree, and that's on a paint test video, I think, or something. I forget what I called it, but I know I showed it to you guys when I got it. But I thought that would be a little more festive. That one definitely is going to need a second coat when that dries. Second coats I will do off camera. So I'm going to go ahead and get done with this, get this all done. When the paint is the way I want it and it's completely dry, I'll come back and we can start, well, then we can do a shadowing and other details, and then when that's dry, we can start assembly. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, here they are with their single color. Now we're going to do some highlighting on the hat, and we're going to add some chocolate chips to our cookies and make them look a little better. So I've got another color of red. This is True Red. I actually painted this with Mrs. Claus's the backing and the hat with flag red. I had planned to use this red, which is True Red by Anita's, and it was not a good color for this, I didn't think. It was too pinky, but at the same time, I think it's going to make a good color to kind of brush on here, just in a few spots, to give a little bit of something to the hat. Just make it look like it's not quite so monochromatic. So one color. Then I have some brown. Any brown will do. And I want to take probably a dotting tool, a small dotting tool. Let's see if this will work. Now on these cookies, these are simply a 1/4 inch circle. So if you want to have a different shape of cookie, all you would need to do is use a punch to punch out a different shape that's about a 1/4 inch across. Maybe a star or something else, or a Christmas tree. There are little tiny hole punches that could be used to create other shapes of cookies. For those, I think I would paint them and then put some colored sand on them to act as sugar. That would make it look kind of like a sugar cookie or a Christmas cookie. So I'm going to let this little bit of paint dry. It shouldn't take too long. When these are dry, we'll come back and we'll start the assembling process. All right, the paint is all dried, so now it's time to start assembling. So I have the body piece here just for reference because what I want to do is lay the braids down. I'm going to put the braids with the tips at the bottom of this piece of washi tape. That way I can make sure her hair hangs down the same amount on each side of her body. Now, I want to make sure that that's about the right width. I want to make sure that it's not going to be sticking out way past her shoulders. Whoopsie. And now I need to set the hat over it and make sure that the hair is all underneath the hat. I'm going to put some glue across the back of the hat. And where you place this is really up to you. I like having the two colors of paint. It gives a little bit of dimension to that. Now be sure that you put on the white piece that you put the side that's painted up, showing, and glue the plain side. That way the texture stays the same and it looks a little nicer. Even though we're going to Mod Podge the whole thing, it looks better this way, that way. All right, now go ahead and get that glued on, and that's all we need to do with her. Now I've got the cookie plate and I've got the cookies. And I'm going to talk on the blog post about how you can make the cookies a little more festive. I don't remember if I talked about it when I was painting them because, quite frankly, it's like 3 days later. So I can't really film over the weekends because my upstairs neighbor is very noisy and the YouTube algorithms would hear his noise and probably demonetize the video. So I can't really do anything when he's home and up. I'm just going to I'll stack this one on top. And now she has her plate of cookies. I'm sure the rest of the Gnome family will be very happy to see cookies. So I am going to leave this glue to dry, at least enough that when I go to glue it onto the body piece, nothing moves. That's my fear at this point. Oh, I know what else I need to do though. Although we didn't have any glue come out, I almost forgot to put the nose on, because we do want to put the nose on just in case. I don't see any glue that's oozed out, but just in case there is some that I'm not seeing, I want to make sure. Ah, come on, go in there, go in there. There we go. Get her nose in there too. That way, and that way I know I actually want to bring that top of the hat down just a little bit. All right, now that glue is going to dry. When it's dry enough, like I was starting to say, that nothing will shift while I am trying to put this together. Because if we started to glue now, I've had a couple of times where I've done that and then like maybe a cookie would fall off or the hair would move and it wouldn't look right anymore. So I'm going to cover my glue since I have plenty of glue to work with today. Put that off to the side. And when this is dry, I'll be back. All right, we're going to see how much we can get glued together before the construction outside gets too close to my window. So we have the glue dried, fairly dry from earlier. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of her braids. Ignore the sound of the saw working out there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here, because hopefully I can make that touch there too. There we go. Get it as centered as you like. Sometimes it helps if you look on the back. That looks pretty good. Now let's get her shoes across the bottom. And line the flat edge of the shoe up with the bottom of the backing. That will help her to stand up better. And it's okay if a little bit of glue is showing because we are going to coat this with Mod Podge after this glue dries. Now if I stand it up and kind of run those down against my tile, it gets them flatter. There. Now we'll get the cookie plate on. I love this metallic paint. I think it looks really pretty. And then making sure the thumbs are up on your hands. I'm going to get those glued on. Get the plate of cookies more straight than they are. And now this glue needs to dry to the point where it's no longer cloudy at all, white or cloudy. It needs to dry to the point where it's clear, because our next step, as I said, is going to be to seal it with a clear finish. And if we seal it before that glue is completely dried and clear, it could remain cloudy under the finish. So I'm going to let this glue dry, and hopefully the contractors will get done with what they're doing outside, and then we can put a clear finish on and see how she looks. All right, the glue is all dried, and I have some satin Mod Podge here. And I'm going to quickly put a coat on before the construction. I think the construction guys are off on lunch. So I'll get this quickly done. So I'm going to coat the front and the back. I coated the back earlier when it was really noisy from the construction. I also coated the edges. Be sure and coat all the way around the edges. That will help seal everything together so it stays really nice. Try to do a not too thick coat of the, if you're using Mod Podge, because it has a nasty habit of staying tacky if it's on too thick. I'll let this dry, and once this is dry, I'll put it over on the front porch of the dollhouse and we can take a look at it together. I'll see you there. And here we have our new gnome on the front porch of the dollhouse, along with some of the stuff we've made over the last couple of years for our Christmas front porch. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure and check the blog post. There'll be more information over there, as well as the link to get the free pattern so that you can make your own. If you enjoy my content and haven't subscribed, I encourage you, hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. Thank you very, very much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.